Have you contemplated selling on Takealot for the last little bit, but you just have been overwhelmed by all the steps to take to get there? Well, in this video, I'm going to give you the 3 simple steps on how to get set up and selling on Takealot, with some hidden advice as well in terms of the forms to fill out. And by the end of the video, you will know exactly your 3 steps to move forward, with a bonus 4th step right at the end as well. Just a little something special for you guys. I had been wanting to sell on Takealot for a long time, but all of the admin and steps and forms and confusion just stopped me from doing it. Now I've been selling on Takealot for the last 9 months or so. It's been really awesome for our business. And the only thing I'm upset about is that I didn't start sooner. So let me help you not make the same mistakes I did, as well as get ahead of the game. If there's one thing to take away from in this video, it's the old saying that failure to plan is planning to fail. Guys, if you don't plan, then it's going to be a hassle. If you don't do the prep work for Takealot, you're just going to fall behind and be confused. You're going to lose your way. Now, step number 1 is the actual application. What you're going to do is go onto Takealot.com, and right on top here, without getting distracted and shopping for yourself, right on top, you're going to select this button here, Sell on Takealot. Now, 2 options will come up. You can see Apply to Sell and See Pricing. We'll do a video on the pricing because there's a lot of great exercises you can do to make sure that a product is actually profitable to sell on Takealot. For the sake of this video, let's click on Apply to Sell. This is going to open up this form for you. Now, I'm not going to do a deep dive on how to enter this form. For the most part, it's pretty straightforward, but I will focus on a few key things that might help prevent you from being rejected. Remember, there's many others like you that are trying to apply to sell on Takealot, so Takealot is doing a bit more vetting and processing to actually see if it's worth having you on their platform. So here's a couple tips to get through this form a bit quicker. First up, you need to decide, are you registering as an individual, a sole proprietor, or are you a South African registered business? Now, I would suggest if you're wanting to do this a bit more full-time and you're wanting to really bold this, that you go ahead and you register your business, but know that that comes with the tax and everything else. I'm not a financial advisor in any way, so please don't take me too seriously. However, if you're just wanting to bold this up on the side and see how it goes and then always able to upgrade, I would select as an individual, a sole proprietor. If you select as an individual, you'll see that down here you'll no longer need to add in your company registration number. And if you say no, that you're not VAT registered, you'll see that the VAT question will also disappear. Now, the only difference is if you do select that you're a registered company, down over here, you will need to put in the business email, your business mobile number, and your business registration number, and then also just follow the VAT registration. Everything else is pretty straightforward, your name, your address. I can do a full video on this another time. Your monthly revenue, if you have no revenue, just select this one here, less than 20K. Do you own or operate physical retail store? Don't worry about this. If you don't, just say no. And obviously that would be 0 for number of physical retail stores. Are you a supplier to retailers? Probably not, so you can select no to that as well. Now, this part is very important. This is what Takealot really wants to know about your product range and the brands that you're working with. Now, you can't lie here, because if you say you sell Nike, you're going to need full certificates from Nike themselves. So you're going to need to say how many unique products you offer. Now, to be quite honest, in the beginning, you may not know exactly what products you're going to sell for sure. Takealot doesn't know that, right? so I wouldn't lie on you badly. Obviously, think about what you're planning to do, but definitely don't say one, right? Unless it's a crazy unique product that you know. So I would think of a few, 5 to 7, even 10 different products that you could sell, and maybe you won't start selling them from day one, but just have them in mind. And I would write down 10. That's what I did. And now we do have about 10 products on Takealot. Your prime category, you can select that. If you're doing electronics, if you're doing pet accessories, you can obviously select this from down over here. Camping and drones, cameras and drones, DIY, whatever it is, try pick something a little bit unique and that you are interested in selling it. Our finished products are best described as. You're going to go through this and obviously look, you're going to see if it's imported, if it's manufactured locally. Obviously, anything on Takealot currently in 2024 that is done locally, it's sourced locally, is going to give you an advantage and an edge. So if you do hand make anything, I think there's a question of that now as well. Describe your products, whether they're branded or unbranded. List the brand names that you own, that you're a reseller of, and do you hold stock? I would say yes to this. Even if you don't have stock on hand right now, say yes, because you are going to need stock on hand for Takealot's new short lead time orders, as well as to send stock to Takealot. So you can say yes on some of my products or yes on my whole range. A website, hopefully you have a website set up. If not, no stress. When we started, I didn't. I just had a social media page. So set up a Instagram page or something, post 2 pictures on there, 3 pictures, just so Takealot has something to go and look at. And this section over here is key. Upload a preview of your product range or catalog you wish to market on Takealot. And this is a compulsory question. So it says here, if there's no website URL, then please upload an image or PDF. What I did is I went onto Canva, which is obviously a free design site. And for free, I just took some pictures that I planned to sell. And I set them up on an A4 PDF, document. And I literally just put the pictures on the left. I put like a nice bold heading and then a little description and a rough selling price, right? And those weren't exact. In fact, only one of those products that actually ended up selling, and we've changed the range since then. But it just shows that you've put in effort, that you are going to have some products and the products you plan to sell. Obviously, if you do already have products, you already have a company, an e-commerce store, or you handmade things, then obviously put those in and make a little brochure or a product range catalog for those items. You're nearly there. Nice. And do you have any comments, questions? Probably not. And then you can go through where you found out. You're going to push I agree and submit your application. And just like that, your application is done. Now that we have submitted our application, if you go back, you will see that they do mention that this will take up to 10 business days for them to accept. I'll be honest, the first time I applied, I almost re-entered the second application because I was like, they're taking forever to approve or deny me, and I didn't know if they'd get back to me. Just wait. I would wait even 14 business days, so excluding weekends and public holidays. It will take some time for them to go through your information and to get back to you. But don't just sit around for those 14 days or those 10 days doing nothing, just waiting. I would keep on prepping and keep moving. Again, failure to plan is planning to fail. So try to get as far ahead of the game as possible, which takes us to step number 2. Once you are accepted, which I know you will be, hopefully, step number 2 is to register and onboard. Now this you can't do in the meantime. When they accept you, they'll send a bunch of forms for you to fill out. Again, you're just going to follow the instructions, your name, your address, proof of address, etc. So in these 10 days that you're waiting, I would go ahead and make sure that I've got a proof of address ready. If you do have a registered company, make sure you've got those registration papers uploaded and copied, that you have copies of them to send, copies of your ID. You'll need all of these things, contact numbers, your emails. So I would make sure that all of those things are ready. On the other hand, I would watch some videos on YouTube. You can go check out some of mine on maybe some items you may need for printing labels and stuff. And you can always get ahead of that. Obviously, 10 days is a long time if you have the time to kind of prep as much as possible, so that as soon as they get back to you and you go through the registration process, then you're ready to go. Along with registering for step number 2 is the onboarding. Once you fill out everything and they're happy, they'll send you some login details and everything to set up some passwords to the seller platform. And you'll have to go through some videos and info, a little onboarding schedule. You could do it all in a day. I would strongly suggest going through it over a couple days, or at least with breaks in between. Because I promise you, if you don't absorb that information, it's easy to pass. You can just go through and quickly remember and select the option. But if you don't pay attention to the packaging rules and everything else, you're going to have products be rejected later on. You're going to be confused. You're not going to know why. So I definitely took the time myself and really try to absorb as much as possible to make sure that you don't get headaches down the road. So you finish registering, you finish your onboarding, you've passed your onboarding, you're feeling familiar with the ins and outs of the platform, or at least the introduction thereof. We now move on to step number 3, which is to upload your first product and to send stock to the DC. Essentially, if you don't know, there's 2 ways that you can sell on Takealot. You can sell items that are in stock at a DC, so the distribution center, Cape Town and Joburg, and you'll learn all of this once you go through your onboarding, but you'll need to send 70% up to Joburg, 30% to Cape Town, and if it's confusing now, don't worry, it will all make sense. But that's one way. I send physical products to Takealot and it's sitting in the DC. You order it and it's available for next day delivery or shipment very soon thereafter. The second option that you can sell products on Takealot is what Takealot calls a lead time order. That means, for example, these products over here, I'm sitting with them here at my house and in the little warehouse, the garage. And when a customer orders it, it will say ships in 3 to 5 working days. I get a notification and I need to then package however many came through, send it to the DC. Takealot that handles that distribution and delivery fulfillment to the customers, which is amazing. Now, as a new seller, you don't have the privileges yet of being able to do lead time sales. You'll only be able to sell via stock at Takealot DC. I do plan on making a video very soon on how to upload a product. In fact, I'm busy with it at the moment, how to upload new products to go through the system. You would have learned a lot of that in onboarding, but for different categories, there's kind of different rules, and I'm still learning about a few different categories myself and their associated rules. But again, in those 10 days while you're waiting, I'd make sure that I've got info for some products that I do plan to send. I would even order that stock in the meantime if I need to, a small quantity. I think you're only allowed to send 5 to each DC, or maybe 10, I think 5 to each DC as a tester anyway, so don't go and buy 100 units and not know that it's going to sell. Unless you want to play that kind of risk, I wouldn't suggest it. But I would be getting those photos ready. I would remove the backgrounds in some of the photos, and I would get the information ready, and I would start writing up a little description. So for all of the products that I plan to sell. So as soon as you got through the registration, step 3, it's time for upload. All of that has already been done in your prep time, in the time that you were just waiting for Takealot to get back to you. And that's going to give you a huge head start to getting your products on Takealot and actually selling. Now, in terms of fees, I plan to do a full video on that as well, so that you can calculate if a product is worth it, as I mentioned earlier in this video. But Takealot has a monthly subscription for using their service and being able to sell on their platform of 400 Rand a month per user or per account. That 400 Rand only starts once you upload your first products and once you actually get going with them, if I'm not mistaken. I would maybe double check that, but I think that's what happened, that you only start paying once you actually send your first products there. Again, I could be wrong. Moving on to the 4th bonus step, as promised. These kind of steps confuse me a lot. Unfortunately, the onboarding isn't the most clear. In my opinion, the videos sometimes are ambiguous and leave you a bit confused, especially in terms of the rules for packaging. In fact, my whole first order I packaged wrong, thinking that I was following the rules when I wasn't. So if you look, the first 2 links in the description in this video are links where you take me for a virtual, where for 15 minutes, we can hop on a call and we can chat through the thing that you're struggling with, quickly look at your screen, give you some actual steps to take to kind of fix that and give some really good direction. And the other option is a full 90-minute consultation. Now, this isn't a course that I'm trying to sell by any means, because courses aren't often focused towards your unique struggles and pain points, issues. Instead, this is the time that we can go really deep on your strategy, the type of products you're selling, what you hope to get, how much kind of revenue you're trying to get. We can reverse engineer that. We can screen share either my side to explain and walk you through the platform, or we can screen share and see your screen and see what you're struggling with, kind of point out different things. So it's a full 90-minute deep dive where you're absolutely leaving with your questions answered, as well as leaving with actionable steps to take to get yourself further along the journey. So feel free to check out the first 2 links in the video description. I hope to see you on one of the calls. Now, once you've uploaded your first product or 2 and you're ready to send the stock to Takealot, I would absolutely recommend watching this video up here, which is just going to take you through the actual steps to get your stock to Takealot, which for the first time is a little bit confusing to say the least. So be sure to follow those steps, and guaranteed it will be a smooth sailing shipment to Takealot DC. And then you just go to sleep and you wait for that first sale to come in. And when it does, it's probably the best feeling in the world. People think that Takealot is a place for passive income, and it's actually in some ways passive. There's first a lot of activity that needs to happen and a lot of input that needs to go in. But once your stock is at the DCs, you see sales when you wake up in the morning, and that is absolutely amazing, but it takes a little bit of hard work to get there. So remember, check out the first 2 links if you would like to have a one-on-one call or a deep dive, whether that's the virtual coffee or the 90-minute call. Thank you so much for supporting. We just went over 1,000 subscribers, which is crazy. So thank you guys so much for the support. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a like on the video and any comments that you wish to like, and let me know if this helped. Let me know if this was a thing you needed to get you over the line to get started. And when your account is live, be sure to let all of us know below to give some encouragement and push to the rest of us. See you guys in the next video.